They say the lake only reflects what should be seen. I was still a kid when Grandpa took me and my cousin Felix camping deep in the Adirondacks. We were city kids, more familiar with subways and sneakers on hot pavement than fire pits and pine needles. But Grandpa believed in reconnecting. He never said with what. Mirror Lake wasn't on any map. I tried to find it once, years later, but it's not listed anywhere. Grandpa always said it found us. He never used a compass. The trees leaned in weird directions, like they were watching. The air smelled like wet ashes, even though there hadn't been a fire in decades. I know that because Grandpa asked. Felix had just turned 16 that summer. He'd started shaving, and he was proud of it. He snuck in a razor, even though Grandpa warned us. Only pack what's necessary. Nothing reflective, nothing sharp. That was just one of his many warnings. He had a whole rule book in his head. Don't whisper near the lake. Don't feed the dark. Don't sleep facing east. He'd toss those lines out like he was quoting something old and half forgotten. He never explained them. He never needed to. We obeyed. At first. On the third night, Felix got bored. While Grandpa napped by the fire, Felix walked down to the lake's edge and started shaving. He used the blade and the water as a mirror, grinning at his own reflection. That's when things changed. The air felt like it paused. Not just still, paused. The ripples from his hands didn't spread. They curled inward, tightening like veins. I told him to stop. He laughed and said the only thing out here to fear was mosquitoes. But the silence afterward, it was thick, hungry. That night, Grandpa didn't sleep. He sat by the fire, tossing pine needles into the flames one by one. They hissed when they caught, like something breathing in reverse. When I woke up, Felix was gone. Grandpa didn't panic. He just looked at the lake and muttered he shouldn't have shown it his face. I wanted to scream. Instead, we searched. His footprints led to the shore. Then nothing. No scuff marks, no splash. Just one wet print facing the woods, like someone had climbed out. Grandpa didn't let me say his name again. Don't give it more, he whispered. The rest of the trip was silent. At sunset, Grandpa left an offering by the lake. 3 pine cones tied with twine, bark turned inward. Payment for what we know, he said. We never went back. Grandpa died that winter. I thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. Last month, I found Grandpa's journal inside an old thermos. Most of it was nonsense. Sketches of trees with too many eyes, lists of warnings scribbled over and over. But one entry had been circled in charcoal. Felix isn't gone. He's what looks back now. I don't know what drew me back to the lake. Curiosity? Guilt? Something else? It took me 2 days to find it again. I didn't use a map. I just kept walking until the trees grew strange and the birds stopped calling. The lake was waiting. It remembered me. This time, I brought no mirrors, no blades, no name. I camped where we once did, though the ground didn't welcome me. Even the air had weight to it, like I was breathing in dust from something burned a long time ago. That night, the lake was too still. No wind, no moonlight, and it didn't reflect anything. Around 3:33 a.m., I heard movement around my tent. Not footsteps, something slower, a dragging sound, soft as breath. I peeked out. Nothing. But the lake. There were ripples. And when I looked into the water, I saw a reflection. Not mine. It was me. Yes. But behind me, standing too close, was something wrong. The shape was humanoid, but blurred. Its face missing any real features. Just hints of what might have once been. I blinked. It smiled, I didn't sleep, just waited for the sun. It never came. I packed up before dawn, but it never became morning. The sky stayed bruised, like the sun had forgotten how to rise. My phone was dead. My compass spun like it was afraid, but I made it out. At least, I think I did. I'm home now. My apartment's the same, mostly, but the mirror in the bathroom fogs up, even when I don't run hot water. My wall clock flickers, always at 3:33, always. And when I shave, every now and then, I catch a flicker in the corner of the mirror. Not a trick of the light, not my imagination, just Felix, smiling, holding a pine cone. Thanks for watching Cryptic Chronicles. If you love eerie stories and creepy tales, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. See you in the next one.